Cologne spray. Let's talk about it. Welcome, you guys. My name is Dan C. Bearded, and somewhat recently, before I get into that, real quick, thumbs up, check that like button. It does make a difference. Thank you, guys. Somewhat recently-ish, I would say about the last 6 months, I tried the soap from this company, and the company is known as Man Bar Soap, and I tried this soap, and I really liked it. Made a video on it. It had something unique in terms of the fragrances. They were very complex, layered. Some of them were dark and manly. Some of them are citrus, but it did make you feel like a man. It made you feel like, oh, wow, this is really classy. This is really cool, and it was made for me. I didn't feel like I was grabbing my wife's soap or just some garbage from the store. This was really cool. Made the video. They loved it. They actually reached out recently and said, even more recently, and said, hey, we have a new product. Could we send it out to you and give us your thoughts if you have them? And that is this Cologne Mist that they have right here. Now, this is not something that is told what to say. They didn't get to see this video. They have no idea my thoughts before I make the video. And you guys know, I have all sorts of reviews out there. Ones that I love and I'm obsessed with, ones that are terrible and I would never recommend, and everywhere in between. The negative reviews, the ones that are highly critical, are just not fun for me to make. I do, and I always will, but they just suck. I mean, they're just not a fun feeling to put that video out there and then wait for the email because I don't discuss it beforehand. I don't tell companies, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one, or oh, watch out, you might not wanna watch this one. I just put out my thoughts. That's what reviews are for. And then things happen, right? They ghost me, they say negative things to me, I've been sued and threatened to be sued, all this stuff here. Luckily, I don't have to do that because this is awesome. They now have matching fragrances to their soaps, and as it says right on here, long lasting. So a soap is not traditionally something that I associate with a lasting fragrance, right? I love to smell a soap in the shower, but I'm not one that I really want it to be lingering, right? That's just personal preference. Some of you may. I like to make the statement usually with my beard products about my scent. However, this company said, hey, our scents are so unique in the soap, and you're right, they don't linger. They don't last a whole lot out of the shower, but people love the way they smell. And they had to kind of figure out a way where they could bring the scent, if you're loving the shower experience, to then last throughout the day. And a beautiful next chapter would be their Cologne Mist. Now, I'm not the biggest cologne guy in the world. I do not wear cologne on a daily basis. There are weeks that go by where I don't ever touch a cologne. However, my wife, beautiful Sam C, she does like cologne. So when we go out to dinner, when we go on dates, when we go on trips, I will always have some sort of cologne available. And to have these two matching, it's really, really cool. Now, this is a huge container, also 6 fluid ounces here. And by the way, I'm gonna put out some details that could be helpful for you guys. They did create a discount code for you. I didn't even request this. This was all on their own. It's not an affiliate, so no commission or kickback on sales. Not that that would change anything, but just to make sure we're always transparent here. And that code is DANC15. So if you place an order, you can save 15% off. And at the time of this video dropping, and then I'm sure for a little bit after, they are running a Father's Day sale for 20% off. Now, apparently it's pretty rare that they have sales like this, so it could be a good time to try if you wanted to, just to save a little bit of money, but they're not going anywhere. There's no FOMO. You're not having pressure. You're not missing out. This will be here. Let's go over the fragrances real quick and then kind of talk about how long it lasts and my experience and go into all of that. The first one is my favorite, spoiler here. This is the Silver Sage and Bergamot fragrance. Now, I am gonna read the description that they have on these because it's so well done. So the description that we have on the Silver Sage and Bergamot is sparkling bergamot top notes. And that's that beautiful citrus that's bright and fresh. Absolutely love it. And it also has the silver sage underneath, and it's made to, again, the soap is to get rid of anything that you have on your body that day. And this one's one of their lighter ones here. On the description of the fragrance, some of them have a little bit more to say. This one is nice. It is. It's bright, it's citrusy, it's fresh. That sageness kind of brings down the tartness that you might find in a bergamot scent. It brings down that tartness and adds some earthiness to it, but it's not spicy. It's not, in my head, I think of sage and I think of incense, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to feel like I'm walking by that incense booth at the mall. Yeah, they still have malls. And it's nice though. It's earthy, by far my favorite fragrance out of these ones, you guys. It's very much a me scent. I would call it a citrus cologne. Now, the spray is an identical match for that fragrance, and for me, it lasts 8 to 10 hours where I get a good solid smell. And if I put it on in the morning and I shower at night, that scent comes back again in the shower before using any soap. So that's one right here. If I could recommend one to people that like my kind of scent preferences, it would be the Silver Sage and Bergamot. All right, next one that we are gonna go here is going to be, and again, matching, spiced tobacco. Now, spiced tobacco is usually one of my least favorite scents in the world. However, this does not smell like a traditional spiced tobacco, at least to me. I'm gonna read the description again for you guys, and then I'll kind of talk about my thoughts on it. You'd be hard pressed to find a scent more manly than this. It has a warm and woody fragrance that reveals a spiced tobacco, and it's gonna build with orange zest, cardamom, and vetiver. This is something that is more manly than the Marlboro Man himself in the ideal soap or fragrance for any man out there. Wow. So when I start getting into this and I start to think orange zest, I start to think vetiver, these are things that are not commonly associated, in my mind at least, with spiced tobaccos. I get a sweetness out of this. First and foremost, there's a sweetness, there's a refreshingness, and then I do get that kind of dried, rolled, almost cigar tobacco. I don't get a whole lot of spice. Maybe it's because there's not clove, and oftentimes spiced things have clove in them, or at least I don't pick up clove, and I despise clove. Cardamom, I'm not the most familiar with, but I like this one a lot, and I am shocked. And trust me, I would tell you otherwise. I love having strong ones. It's tough to make critical videos on companies and products. Scents, I enjoy disliking scents from time to time. This one's really, really good. All right, let's go next up with the Midnight Amber fragrance. The Midnight Amber fragrance. And this one says, whether your nighttime journey, wherever your nighttime journey takes you, this Midnight Amber soap or the fragrance is an energizing citrus balanced by a heart of fresh woods and ending in a bed of sensual amber. Okay, let me hit you with those key notes again here. And that would be citrus, woods, and amber. Okay. Same thing. These are all in the cologne. If you were to smell any of these, you would say, okay, those are colognes. This again, though, is on the sweeter side for me. And it's manly, it's fresh. It is a young man's cologne. Very, very, very nice one. This one is the most cologne-y out of the whole bunch. If you want to smell like a straight up cologne, check out Midnight Amber. All right, then the last one is Exotic Musk and Sandalwood. Exotic Musk and Sandalwood. Science tells us that scent is the sense of most connected to memory. And the exotic combination of radiant citrus, florals, and musk bring this exotic musk and sandalwoods will take it to make it even more memorable. Now, I did put a little spin of myself on there, but you get the idea on this one. So citrus, floral, and musk. Right? You read that, you're probably like, what does that smell like? This to me, and no pun intended here, this is on the side of a soapy floral cologne. It is the lightest one. It is the one, if I had to pick to wear every day and not get sick of it, it would be this one. So it's wonderful. The way to kind of break it down here, my number one favorite is Silver Sage and Bergamot. My daily, if I could only keep one that I had to use on a consistent basis, it would be the Exotic Woods and Sandalwood. I don't get that spiciness that I usually do from Sandalwood. The most cologne-like one is the Midnight Amber, and then the one that's the most manly, the one that's the kind of darkest but also most surprising to me would be the Spiced Tobacco. Now again, they have all of these a full day. Now when I use it, I am, as I said a million times, I'm not an expert. Some people say spray it on your clothing because it lasts longer. I, for one, prefer to spray it on my actual skin. Why? I don't know. I don't like smelling it on my clothes as much as I like just smelling it in general or smelling it on my skin. And again, that might be completely wrong in the fragrance world, but it works for me and I enjoy that. So what I will usually do is 1 or 2 sprays on my wrist. I will dab them together. I know that's another no-no. You're not supposed to mess with the molecules and stuff. I like to, it works for me. And again, I could be wrong. I'm not giving advice, just sharing. And then I usually spray once on the back of my neck. 2 or 1 on the wrist, and then 1 on the back of the neck. I'm good all day long, you guys. And again, maybe once a week, once every other week for me, but it's a really nice option to have. This will last me forever. So just something to consider there. In the comments down below to wrap this up, have you tried this soap yet? Let us know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on matching cologne scents to soap? What are your thoughts on cologne sprays in general? What about my application method? Are you screaming at your phone or your TV right now? And you're like, no, Dan, you can't do that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your questions down below. Really enjoying these products and really enjoying this company. Dan C. Bearded, please stay bearded and stay positive.